we save our favorite for last. We got Indiana, Michigan, the Hoosiers. Well, you tell us about the game, Steve. The Hoosiers win again. They don't cover, but they win again.
They're 10-0 for the first time in program history.
Wow.
They have a bye week before Ohio State. So you're giving Curt, smoke him if you got him, Cignetti, an extra week to prepare for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I've already talked to some of the recruits that were on campus today. They're obviously buzzing about Indiana. They're going to close this recruiting class strong. Tyrone Burris was there for his third game of the fall. He's from Indianapolis, Warren Central. He's committed to Louisville, but he's been to 3 IU games now. I like where Indiana stands. That's where my on-3 RPM is. On 300 defensive back, Byron Baldwin. That's been a back-and-forth recruitment with Colorado. He was at one point committed to the Hoosiers. Got an offer from Colorado this fall, went to the Baylor game. Colorado beats Baylor on a Hail Mary. Then they have like a concert in the locker room afterwards. He opportunity to potentially be coached by Deion Sanders and company, very enticing. He decommits from Indiana, heavy trend to Colorado, but Coach Ola Adams and company, they don't waver. They stay in there and recruit Byron Baldwin. Byron Baldwin's Baltimore St. Francis team plays a game against Greenwood Center Grove, which is a South Side Indianapolis suburb, the week of the Nebraska game. So Byron Baldwin is now in the Indianapolis area. The Hoosiers send some coaches to his game. They win big against the Indiana powerhouse. Then he goes to the Indiana-Nebraska game, has a great time. Indiana rallies in this recruitment. They are the favorite to land Byron Baldwin as his recruitment stands right now. And then when you look at the visitor list and you see some of the highly offered Midwest prospects that are on campus, guys like defensive lineman King Liggins from the Chicagoland, having a great visit. Indiana is building equity with some of the region's best juniors, guys that there's no way Indiana would be in the mix for. Last year, the Indiana was a purely like developmental program. Even in the Midwest, we are uncovering rocks because we are not going to beat Iowa. We're not going to beat Illinois. We're not going to beat Wisconsin for recruits. They can beat all those programs for recruits right now on the trail. And where this season's going to really help Indiana is in the portal. They're going to have to go into the portal after the year, and they're going to be able to show recruits how quickly they took a roster and turned them into a title contender, because that's what they are. They're 10-0. They have Purdue in the bucket game. They're guaranteed to be 11-1, Josh. They're in the playoff. They're in the playoff, right? Do we put them
Absolutely.
in 10?
Without the Hoosiers?
The Hoosiers are in the college football playoff right now, unless they lose like 55-0 to Ohio State in 2 weeks, and that ain't happening. So the Hoosiers are in. We got them. Curt, smoke them if you got them. Cignetti and the Hoosiers are going to be one of the 12 teams in the college football playoff. They're going to close strong on the recruiting trail. We'll see what happens at the quarterback position with 5-star quarterback Julian Lewis, who they've been recruiting. USC commit, was not on campus this weekend. Long planned for him to be at this game, but was not there. But they signed 2 really talented quarterbacks last cycle. They obviously hit big at the position out of the portal this year. Curt Cignetti's last 3 quarterbacks have been the conference offensive player of the year. That's going to hold up, I would imagine, for Curtis Rourke this year at Indiana. So that'll be 4 straight quarterbacks conference player of the year. You got Taven Jackson coming back next year. You got some young arms. So Indiana football is healthy as ever. First ever 10-win season in program history. They got the Buckeyes in 2 weeks. Recruit reaction is coming in on 3 site. So a lot to be buzzing still regarding the Hoosiers. You see those towels waving in the fourth quarter. They've got a big defensive stand, and Michigan's playing well right now. Like, I know Michigan's 5-5, but they played their best game last week against Oregon, showed some signs of life at the quarterback position. They came in here and played this Indiana team that's been rolling really hard. Won the third quarter, fought back, had some chances in the fourth quarter, but just wasn't enough. And Indiana got a win against a Michigan team that, even though they've lost their last 2 ball games, I actually think they're playing pretty well. So another feather in the cap for the Hoosiers. And Josh, they didn't rush the field. They've been here before this year, 10-0. They beat Washington. They beat Nebraska. They've now beaten Michigan at home. The fans did not rush the field, to my knowledge, in Bloomington today because they're so used to these wins now.
Yeah, we're watching the fans mature right there before our eyes. Are you surprised the quarterback stats that you gave me under Cignetti, the success that Indiana's having this season? Are you surprised that Juju Lewis isn't giving the Hoosiers the time of day?
Well, I just don't know. I mean, he is giving them the time of day. He's talking to them. He's visited them twice. He's got good relationships with their staff. Is he giving some other schools more time? If that's what you're trying to say, I think, he's been to USC twice.
I mean, they're the biggest story, the biggest surprise, maybe outside of Colorado, the biggest turnaround. And they have an opportunity for Juju to step in, and he's not. I mean, Indiana's trying to get him on campus, but they can't.
Sure. No, they're recruiting him, and it'd be a great fit for him, a chance for him to go play for a staff that certainly gets the best out of their quarterbacks. But his other two schools are certainly known for doing that as well. I mean, Colorado's beating Texas Tech on the road right now. They're playing hot. Shedeur Sanders is going to be a finalist for all the major quarterback awards this year. And then obviously we don't need to run down what Lincoln Riley has done at the quarterback.
But I'm just a little surprised that he wouldn't show up for a game. I'm just surprised.
Again, I don't know why. I don't ultimately know why that visit was canceled. I was just told on Friday that, he wasn't coming. So take his name off the list. He's not coming.
Time to move on.
I don't know where Indiana, look, when you're recruiting those caliber of players, you got to have some resources. And I don't know, there's a lot of excitement around the Indiana program, but I don't know how much excitement has been built up yet.
Yeah, I can tell that. I think if those things lined up, I think he'd.
And I'm not saying that's what's going to be the end all be all in this recruitment either. I'm just saying, like, he is giving Indiana the time of day. They're in his final three. He's committed to USC. He's continuing to work through his process. He did not visit this weekend. Does that mean that I think Indiana's out? No. I mean, he's already been there twice, so it's not like he has to come a third time to decide to come to Indiana. He knows who they are. The visits don't matter. These visits are wine, and you're coming to get wined and dined. These guys, they don't need these visits.
I think they need it. I think they do. I think they need to get him on campus to have a shot. I do.
I don't think he's going to go to. I mean, like, I don't have Indiana in the lead
because he hasn't visited.
I'm just saying that I'm not eliminating them because he didn't come.
All right. Well, we have all week to argue about this. We'll keep at it. I'm not
eliminated him. You got him down to 2.
All right. Indiana fans, talk to us. Comment section below. How good is this team? Let us know. Comment section below.